Cartel channel. If you don't know, I am Star. I'm here with a dream. I actually had this dream last night, and it was kind of weird. It was kind of weird. It was one of those dreams where I felt like, like I was in a whole different world. But anyways, in his dream, I was working at a beauty salon. And while I'm working here, I'm working like, it wasn't like how some salons are, um, basically they cater to like a specific kind of race or to a specific kind of hair texture. If you get what I'm saying, it was a mix, like a multicultural beauty salon. And out of nowhere, these people come in and they are taking over the salon. They are armed, okay, and they are taking over the salon. And they put myself as well as other people of color kind of like in this back room by force. And they were only allowing people with a certain skin tone to work. And as they are doing this, and like I'm when I say a certain skin tone, I'm meaning like not even race. Like it wasn't there were no African Americans, Creole, Cajun, you know what I'm saying? Even though some Cajun people can be Caucasian, but we're not gonna get into the specifics because this is not a Louisiana history lesson. But there were like it was a situation where anybody that was had any even a hint, even like a just a little of African descent was put in the back, and everybody else was allowed to be on the floor. Okay, so we in the back and we like tied up and we like what is going on? Okay, and while we back there, we have children back there. I remember having a child back there with me specifically, and I'm trying to make sure my baby is okay, and I'm trying to get myself and my child out of that. I think what was so weird about this is it wasn't just a situation where they fired everybody of color, like they just fired us, and I can't say everybody of color because there were like um people of other races that have lighter skin tone, like Hispanics and people of Asian descent. They were still allowed to work, but people with, you know what I'm saying, like I said, anybody with even just a little hint of African descent was put in the back. um Thank you. And so we trying to get out of there because they got us locked up. Like they got us locked up in the back. They would not let us leave. And they would not let us leave by force. They was not feeding us. They were not making sure we were good. They were just locking us in the back. As it's kind of like how when you like halfway clean up and you just kind of sweep stuff under the rug type vibe. Like they was just like it's still there. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, we're trying to get out of there. We tried several times to leave, but every single time we try, they catch us and they make a how do I say it? Like they make an example out of whoever they catch and they take the mic. You know what I'm saying? They just, like I said, they were armed. Anywho, however, we are watching around from the crack of this closet and we see how the other people that were allowed to stay on the floor um that were of different nationalities. There were some of them that were trying to help us leave. There was some of them that were trying to, every time they would leave, they would come to the door and say, hurry up, it's time to go. But when they would do that, they would get taken out as well. And then we also noticed that there was some of them that simply didn't care. And I'm not saying, it's two different kinds of don't care. It's the kind of don't care where you really just don't care. Like this one lady, baby, when I say she left, to get her something to eat. She changed clothes. She had her whole new smock. And this is something that I noticed in a dream. She had changed her outfit completely out of the clothes that we were supposed to wear. It's like we had a uniform we were supposed to wear. She completely changed out her uniform. She had a whole new smock. She then completely got rid of everything that resembled the company that it was before. And she was just happy and delightful and whistling and just like she was in complete peace while we were locked up in the closet as if nothing was happening. And then there were other people that they wanted to help, but they were scared to help. Anywho, that's the dream. That was the end of it. Okay. The scripture comes from Jasher 13:11. In the 5th year of Abraham's dwelling in the land of Canaan, the people of Sodom and Gomorrah and all the cities of the plain revolted from the power of Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, for all the kings of the cities of the plain had served Chedorlaomer for 12 years and had given him a yearly tax. But in those days, in the 13th year, they rebelled against him. Okay, so here's the message. Hold on, let me highlight. Okay. So for whoever this is for, this is like a situation where there are a few things going on in this dream and like involved with the message for whoever this is intended for. So this is like from what God is showing me right now. This is a situation where, like, you know, in a beauty shop, typically there's an owner that gets a percentage of the sales of all the beauticians, because the beauticians typically, they're doing their own thing. They have their own clientele. Their clients come to them, they earn their money, and they give a booth, like a booth fee to the manager of the shop, typically. And sometimes there are owners that are also beauticians and they own, you know, they own the flow too. And sometimes they just own the shop. In this situation, it was the person that just owned the shop. They weren't actually on the flow. However, whatever was going on here, it's kind of like somebody else came through, they took over, regardless if they took the owner out. We don't know these details because the owner was not there. The owner wasn't present, and I didn't have a knowing of who the owner was. But it's a situation where everybody gives the owner a piece of their pie. And for whoever this is for, a part of this is there is somebody that is trying to push you out of earning a living. And it's not just like, I just feel like it's a whole, like, you know, it's one thing for somebody to feel some kind of way about what you do, and they try to make it very hard for you to earn a living in that specific thing. But this is somebody that they want you out complete. They want you blotted out completely. Like, they don't even want you to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to get out of this. It's too competitive. It's too much going on here for me, and I'm going to get me a job somewhere else. They don't want you to do that. For some of you, it's because you are very creative. Maybe you are very talented in whatever you do. It don't have to be doing hair. It don't have to be doing nails. It don't have to be nothing like that. It could be anything, literally. But whatever it is, you are very good at what you do. And somebody wants your territory. And you know what I'm saying? Territory could simply be your customers, your clientele, the people that are coming and purchasing whatever product or service that you are offering. And it's a situation where they don't want you to be able to just leave that shop and go to another shop up the road. They don't want you to go to a shop across town. They don't want you doing this because they know if you do that, your clientele is coming with you. It's not like, this is somebody, your clientele know that they can't get whatever it is that you are offering, whatever services you offer, from nobody else. And that's just like, you know, when you find a real good beautician And when you find a real good beautician, you do not want to let them go. And this is a problem that I had. I had such a hard time finding somebody that I actually trusted to do my hair that would actually, what I'm saying, offer the services for a decent price. And it kind of, forced me into, I learned how to do my hair when I was young. When I was in high school, I started doing my own hair, and I just, started playing with it until I had it. And even as an adult, I got to a point to where I was like, you know what, I'm not finna stress myself out trying to get my natural hair done. It is too humid in Houston. Even when I would have a perm, because I did have a perm back in the day, my hair would frizz up so bad that it was kind of pointless. And then I went to cosmetology school. I learned about all the chemicals, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that to myself no more. I'm not going to, and it's no shade to anybody that do it, but literally put poison in my hair anymore. So I started just went natural, and I would just start braiding my hair back. I actually cut all my hair off, and then I was wearing lace fronts, and then as my hair grew, I just started braiding it all the way back, and eventually, what I'm saying, right before I moved to Jamaica, I got locks, and that's the story of my hair. But for years, I wouldn't even wear my natural hair unless I had it like in a afro ponytail or afro or something like that. But I got to a point to where I didn't really trust nobody with my hair. Especially in cosmetology school, somebody tried to cut my hair out. But you know what I'm saying? She didn't. I don't know if she messed up with shit. I don't know how in the world she messed that up. But anyways, I've had experiences of people trying to cut my hair, trying to damage my hair. And I went to cosmetology school after I cut all my hair off. So it's just, and even when my hair was permed, I had experiences of people, wanting to cut my hair, wanting to mess with my hair, and I don't like that. And even though at this point in time, I wish I would have just left my hair alone. I wish like my hair would be at the length that I want it to be. Well, I guess technically it is because it's locked up. It looks shorter than it is, but length retention. But still, I just feel like when it come down to it, you can't trust everybody with your hair because sometimes somebody you'll be sitting in a chair and they'll just cut your hair real short on purpose and claim that it's this, that, and the third. And yes, it is true that you want to get rid of split ends. Yes, it is true you don't want your hair to be uneven, this, that, and the third. But baby, you can't tell me that my hair was down here and now it's up here. We not finna. No, we finna fight. Okay, we finna fight. Long story short, this is somebody, whatever it is that you offer, whatever service you offer, you good at it. And the people that come to you for whatever service it is that you offer, they don't want to go to nobody else. And it's not to say that they won't, you know what I'm saying? They may have a certain person that do their hair, do their nails, do their lashes, blah, 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 blah. But when it come down to it, they like you for that specific service. They like you for that specific item, whatever it is. God said there is somebody that don't want you to be able to use your talents. They don't want you to sell whatever it is you're selling. They don't want you to be able to have these clients anymore. They want to steal your clients. They're trying to figure out a way to do this here. And for someone, this can be very dangerous, obviously, because in this dream, like I said, they were armed. It wasn't a situation where they just waltzed in whistling. And you know what I'm saying? They just started talking a bunch of smack. These people came in armed. And it wasn't just one person. It was several people. It's like they had a little mini army going on. They had about 10, 15 people in there, all of them armed, pushing everybody that they didn't want on the floor to the back. Now, the race thing, it could be a race thing. It could be a race situation with somebody. It could be a situation where somebody feels some kind of way about you because of your nationality, your skin tone, your ethnicity. Take it as it, you know what I'm saying? Take it how you will. And it could be a situation where you are thinking that somebody is going to help you. God said that for some of y'all, there are some people that will help you. And for some of y'all, there's some people that will act like they don't even see what's going on. And they do. But they'll act like they don't even know what happened. They don't know where you at. They don't know what happened to you. And this is a situation where you don't want to just depend on man. You don't want to depend on man for everything. I think sometimes we get so comfortable that we just assume that everything is intended to stay the same. And God will be tapping you on your shoulder, you know what I'm saying? Tapping you on your shoulder, tap, 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 whispering in your ear. It's time for you to go ahead. Maybe God is saying that you should go ahead and get your own building. Maybe God is saying that you should, you know what I'm saying? I'm being reminded of one of my mom's friends that she used to do my mom's hair when I was a little girl. It was like her house, and then she had like this little a shop built on the side of her house. And I'm like it wasn't just like, it wasn't a situation where it was her living room. She had an actual shop built onto the side of her house. It was a shop. It was closed off from her house. It had its own separate restroom. She had all the sinks. She had the chairs. She had the waiting area, little TV, snacks, and all that going on. It was like, I just feel like God is saying, for somebody, you're going to have to improvise, because whatever it is that you got going on, you are too good at what you do for you to be thinking that it's all good for you to be around a bunch of other people that do the same thing you do, because you may not even notice it, but some of these people are very competitive. And that's just how it was when I was in beauty school. It was just, I didn't even realize it was going to be like that. If I would have knew then what I know now, I probably wouldn't have shared my social media with them. Because when I went to beauty school the second time, I already had a few thousand people following me on Instagram, and they felt some kind of way. And you know what I'm saying? I ain't even really know them like that. But you know what I'm saying? They literally gang together and was harassing me up and down. And I guess it is what it is. But when it really come down to it, sometimes we always assume that everybody is gonna clap for us and cheer us on, and that ain't always the case. And that's just really what it is. That ain't always the case. Sometimes people are going to be very judgmental towards you. Sometimes you will have to deal with people that are trying to knock you out the game for no reason. I'm being reminded of that movie. I talked about this movie before. I think Superbad. No, not Superbad. What is Superfly? Well, old dude, he kept on hating on Preach for no reason. He ain't have no reason to be hating on this man. They both was making money. They both was looking fly. They both was throwing thousands and thousands of house notes off the shelf at the club. But for whatever reason, he felt like he needed to take what Preach was making. He want to make what he want his clientele. He want his territory. He want the people that he got going. And it's just like, there are some people that are just greedy, and there are some people that are like, regardless if they greedy for money, greedy for power, greedy for fame and fortune, whatever it is. And it don't have to be fame like billions of people looking at you. It could be hood fame. But I just feel like for some people will literally knock somebody out the game just so they can say they did that. Real talk. Seriously. They won't even ask, you know what I'm saying? There are people like that. There are people like that. They will take you up out of here just to be able to say that they did it with a smile on their face, and will turn themselves in and will brag about what they did in jail. And you know what I'm saying? I'm saying this to say, for whoever this is for, God said he has been whispering to you. He may have sent other people to whisper to you that you need to bust a move. Okay, and it's like sometimes God will put us in little situations, and it'll be cool for that moment, but eventually you may have to bust a move up out of that. Sometimes it's a transition type situation. And I'm thinking about Queen of the South, how she ends up, like, her journey is it's so, like, you know what I'm saying, it just spirals on her way to the top. And a lot of times she'll think that she making friends with somebody, and then out of nowhere she find out they an enemy, and she gotta bust a move. Just like when she had first got in contact with what was his name, Estefania, when she first got in contact with him, and he said that he was gonna take her. She showed him the book, and you know what I'm saying, he said he wasn't gonna help her out, he was just gonna take the book and go. And she got in front of the car, you know what I'm saying, and threatened to take herself out in front of him since he didn't want to help her, and he wasn't gonna call off his people. He was just gonna leave her like, oh well, too bad, too sad. And he ended up taking her supposedly to an airport to help her out. And then her future self popped up and said, something has changed. She ain't on the phone with just anybody. You need to bust a move. And you know what I'm saying? I just feel like sometimes you have to, it's like God will send you somewhere, and it could literally be an enemy, because this man was an enemy to her. He was trying to literally take her life. He wanted her out of there. He put thousands on her head, millions on her head. He wanted her gone, gone, gone. And this is somebody that if he wouldn't have came and took her to that point, even though it was the middle of the desert, if he wouldn't have came and took her there, even though she had to cause a car accident in order to get away from him, if he wouldn't have took her there, she would have been gone. So it's still like sometimes God will send you on a journey, and you like think that you possibly around somebody that don't like you. You possibly around people you can't stand. You get a bad vibe every time you around them. Something always popping out. Something always happening. You like, why in the world am I here? God said it's temporary. This is just a detour. Okay? Don't get used to it. Don't get stuck there. Don't get comfortable. In this dream, we was comfortable. I was so comfortable. I had my child with me at the beauty shop. God said, don't get comfortable in this place. It's not for you to get comfortable. This is a transition type vibe. And if you're not thinking and planning for your future, you will get stuck. So I don't know who this is for, but God said he keep on telling you that there's something you need to do. Regardless if you need to do hair out your house, or you know what I'm saying, maybe you need to be a mobile beautician, or whatever it is you got going on. God said it's time to bust a move. It's time to bust a move. It's time to bust a move. You do not want to be in a position to where your home is a place where you are basically in competition with everybody. Okay? Because for whoever this is this for you specifically is dangerous. And one thing that I'm going to say, when you are the kind of person where you are a leader and you are basically connected to someone else who is a leader, like I'm just thinking about how what I forgot what it's called. I forgot the name. It was this book that I used to read, but I think it's about queen bees, something about queen bees. But when it comes down to it, even thinking about bees in general, it can't be two queen bees. Okay? There cannot be two queen bees. And just like it can't be two queen bees, it can't be two kings. It's not going to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Two people can't be barking out orders. You know what I'm saying? Eventually you're going to say something that's going to step on somebody's toes. And if you in a position to where you the lone wolf and you with you know what I'm saying, another queen or another king, and they got they click with them, you know what I'm saying, and you barking orders, it's like this gonna cause friction, it's gonna cause problems. This is how dry beef gets started. You know what I'm saying? This is why I don't like roommates, because I don't like dry beef. I don't like being in a position to where somebody beefing with me, but ain't nobody saying it. And it's a problem about everything. It's a problem about this, that, and the third. I remember I had this roommate one time. We had a war over soap. They refused to buy soap. They refused to buy toilet paper. They wanted to use the toothpaste and all this stuff. And we already paying all the bills. And then they want all this other stuff. And it's like, y'all gonna have to do something. Anything. But this ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So I stopped leaving my toilet paper, my toothpaste, and my soap and all my stuff in the restaurant. They got mad at me. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not mama, okay? You know what I'm saying? Even me, as being an adult child living with my mom, I buy my own toothpaste, my own soap, my own lotion, all that stuff. I don't depend on my mama for those things. I don't even depend on her to buy my food, but she is kind enough to do so sometimes. But in reality, I try not to put that up on her. I just feel like some people, you know, you have to be, I just feel like you gotta, and it don't even mean that it's something like that. But I just feel like this is somebody that dry beef is at hand. Okay, you can feel dry beef. You can feel the vibe when you are having a dry beef moment with somebody. Every time you see them, you can't stand. You don't want to talk to them. You sick and tired of them. This could be somebody that used to be your best friend, and now you are just rolling your eyes when they call you. You getting sick and tired of being around them. You got to bust a move. This is somebody. It's time to bust a move. If you don't, you could very well find yourself in a position to where you getting set up. Just like in this dream where these people came in armed and they told certain people to get to the back and they, let the other people stay on the floor. You ain't like, and this is a situation where even if somebody do want to help you, they gonna get hurt trying to help you. Even if somebody do, like, you know what I'm saying, after a few days, a few hours, some people will come looking for you. They will get hurt trying to look for you. God said for whoever this is for, be like, you gotta be vigilant. Don't just get so used to everything, because this is not the end for you. This is somebody, you are intended to be a leader. You intended to have your own shop. You ain't gonna be able to sit around and take orders from nobody, because you the type of person to bark orders. And I don't mean any harm. I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's nothing bad about that. But you are a boss. Go, you gotta have your own. Thank you. You gotta have your own. You gotta have your own. Thank you. You gotta have your own. This is like, I just feel like this is somebody you're not intended to just, and it ain't nothing wrong with that. And another thing about this is, in order for you not to, you not to cut any ties with anybody, for you to have any fallouts with anybody, for you to become, at first y'all was best friend, now y'all enemies. God is saying it's best to leave before your welcome is done. You know what I'm saying? It's best to go ahead and bust a move before you worn out your welcome, than for you to get to a point to where somebody is like ready to throw you out. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like this is somebody you like. You just have the energy of about you. You have the vibe of somebody that is running stuff about you. And it ain't nothing wrong with that. You have that for a reason. You are like that for, you are intended to run things. You are intended to boss, you know what I'm saying, to be a boss. But, you know what I'm saying, it costs to be the boss. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about this song that I used to listen to, even though I think that's in the song too. But, who's the man? Who's the boss? Who's the person that paid the cost? You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's a lot that you have to do in order to be a boss. It don't matter what kind of boss you is. Like, it don't matter what you're doing. It don't matter what kind of company you have, what kind of business you have. A lot of people are always interested in owning businesses and, you know what I'm saying, being their own boss. They got the boss babe stuff going on. But in reality, it take a lot to really be a boss. You know what I'm saying? It take a lot to do that. And I'm not talking about, like selling Mary Kay or nothing like that. Because ain't no shade, but that's really, a corporation that is like giving other people the opportunities to sell their stuff. I'm talking about from ground up. It's a lot of work that goes into building something from the ground up and getting it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this is somebody, you built what you got going on from the ground up. Like, whatever it is, however you started. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just thinking about memories I have of friends and people that I know that, built from the ground up and how they started. Humble beginnings. This is somebody who had humble beginnings, but you did that. God said, don't allow yourself to get caught up in nobody else's drama either. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we don't even realize that people will create drama in order to distract us. They will create problems to distract us, to cause us to not be able to focus. You know what I'm saying? And for somebody, I just feel like you are too caught up in what's going on around you. And you can't allow what's going on around you to get you distracted from what you got going on. You still have goals. You still have dreams. You still have accomplishments to make. accomplishments to make, and you don't want to be in a position to where you stuck. And then while you stuck, the person you stuck with or the people you stuck with is ganging up on you. The people you stuck with having meetings about you behind your back. The people you stuck with is plotting and planning on you. God said this is for somebody. It's time to bust a move. It's time to bust a move. And this is for somebody. It is intended for you to have your own. You need to bust a move before you can't bust a move. You need to go ahead and move around before you can't move around no more. You need to go ahead and get your plan together before you can't get your plan together no more. Because there is someone, there has been a thought. This has come up in the spiritual realm. God always, when I receive a message, it's something that's going on in the spiritual. Somebody has had a thought. Somebody has had an idea. I'm thinking about on that movie Inside Out, how when she have an idea, a light bulb goes up. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has had an idea, and they trying to figure out some kind of way to get rid of you. They trying to figure out some kind of way to get rid of you. And for whoever this is for, it ain't just no one person. This is several people that are trying to figure out some way to get rid of you. And let me tell you, as what happened to me when I felt like it was a bunch of people trying to get rid of me and a bunch of people tired of me and I'm irritating this one and that one, you ain't got to tell me twice. I'm out of here. I don't care if I got to sleep in the car. I'm out of here. I don't care. And that's just what it is. And I just feel like, you know what I'm saying? For whoever this is for, God said, even if it comes to that, you gonna land on your feet. God is gonna help you. But you don't want to be in a position to where you can't even leave. You don't want to be in a position to where you could have just walked out, left everything, dusted your hands of it, dusted your feet off and kept going. But now you stuck, locked up in a closet somewhere and can't nobody even help you, because if they do, that's going to be on them. I just feel like, don't let it go that far. And this could be somebody with a slick mouth. You're going to say the wrong thing to the wrong person. And, I'm not saying that you can't fight. I'm not saying that you don't have your own, how do I say it? Your own artillery. Okay, I'm trying to figure out a good way to say it. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just being reminded of this video that I saw on the shorts. These two guys was getting into it at a gas station. And one guy, they just kept on arguing with each other, and the one guy was walking to his car. The other dude, for whatever reason, let him get to his car. He got to his car and started busting. And you know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't finna be so courteous. That's just like, how on the movies, sometimes with John Wick movies, when he fighting, and it's like 4 people trying to get at him, but the other 3 stand off to the side and let him fight everybody one-on-one. Everybody ain't gonna be so courteous. Everybody ain't gonna be so kind. This real life, they will jump you. This real life, they will ensure that you can't go get your stuff. This real life. It's people that get taken up out of here with their stuff. Oh no. And I'm just saying this to say, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to scare nobody, but at the same time, you got to have a little bit of fear, but at the same time, you have to be brave, because God is saying this is a situation where somebody is plotting against you, and their anger, their jealousy and envy, their hatred for you is just doing this. And you don't want it to get to the point to where they'll do anything to get you out. You don't want it to get to a point to where they, you know what I'm saying? And this is why I feel like it's not good to brag about what you got going on. This is somebody, you got a lot going on. You have a lot of blessings. You have a lot of blessings at hand. There's a lot of things that God is doing in your life right now. And you talk too much. And God said, not only are you always talking about your blessings, but people can see your blessings. And even if you don't even talk about the blessings that they see, they take note and they see other blessings that you don't even talk about. And God is saying, for whoever this is for, on top of that, you gonna your mouth and just everything adding up together. God said there's a plan that He has told you, and He wants you to go ahead and do that. before something else happens. Because you don't want to be in a position to where, you know what I'm saying, you locked up in a closet, you can't even do no hair. And you locked up, like in a broom closet or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And, it's not to say that you would be there forever. But at the same time, do you even want to end up? Nobody wants to be in that kind of position to where you are literally locked away somewhere and you can't do nothing. Nobody wants their freedom taken from them. And, especially if you could possibly avoid this situation altogether. And that's the message, you know what I'm saying? And I know this message is not for everybody, baby. I was not expecting to be on live for no 34 minutes. Lord. But anywho, it is for somebody. Go put it up on my heart to go ahead and relay this message today. This is for somebody. Whoever this message is for, you know it's for you. Like I said, as somebody that has been in situations where it was like dry beef and dealt with people, dry beefing with me, you can feel when somebody is dry beefing with you. You can feel when somebody got a problem with you. You can feel it. It's not a situation where you can't tell and you didn't know. This is somebody you know. Ain't no way you don't know that these people is beefing with you. Ain't no way you can't tell that these people got problems with you. You know what I'm saying? And just in case you can't tell, I'll give you some hints. You decide to do a little special and where you'll do a sew in and, wash and dry and all that. You'll put everything together for a small little price. You know what I'm saying? A small fee of $100 and it's usually possibly $200, and you just giving this as a benefit to your clients, and then everybody else start doing it. You decide that, you know what I'm saying, you gonna use a certain kind of products on your clients and everybody else start using the same products as you. Or, you know what I'm saying, I just feel like it's ways you can tell. It could even be a situation where you need this, you need that. Maybe you out of shampoo or you out of conditioner. They got bottles up on bottles and you ask if you can use a little bit on this client and they saying, nah, you can't use that. That's just for such and such, or that's just for us, or that's just for this, that, and the third. God said you can tell when it's time to go. You can tell when it's time to go. You can tell when somebody is frustrated with you. And it could be just like when I was talking, like, why I don't like roommates. When I started getting frustrated because I was sick and tired of my roommate playing with me like that. I get tired of people playing with me. And it wasn't the first time that happened to me. You know what I'm saying? That, like, people be playing too much. You know what I'm saying? It only costs $1 to get a roll of toilet paper from the corner store. It only, like, you know what I'm saying? A bar of soap, especially at that, back then, it was cheaper than that. A bar of soap, you could get that for $2. You know what I'm saying? Back then, $1. Like, anywho. There are frustrations on both sides of this situation. Whoever this is for, you feel it. You frustrated, they frustrated. God said it's time to bust a move. It's time to bust a move before you can't bust a move. Okay, it's time to bust a move before people lose I just feel like somebody, they about to lose their cool. They about to lose their cool. They about to go off the... They sick and tired of being sick and tired, and it don't matter if they smile in your face every time they see you. You can still feel that vibe. You can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it that they feel some kind of way. God said it's time for you to go ahead and get your things together and move around, because it is not good for you to be sitting up with your competition and y'all both trying to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? That's like, being in a beauty shop and it's a slow day. Somebody come in talking about they want braids and y'all fighting each other over who gonna do that person hair. I just feel like God is saying, like, come on now. And it can be very frustrating if it's a situation like that. You working in a shop, y'all just sitting around talking all day, and when somebody do come, it's just your clients. You know what I'm saying? It's just people coming specifically to you, back to back to back. Ain't nobody else did hair all day. Ain't nobody else made not one red cent. Just you. You making all the money. God said tensions are rising. Tensions are rising. People are becoming frustrated. People are becoming angry. People are becoming irritated. And they want your territory. And you would basically be opening the door for that happening, because whenever people decide to start looking for you, they gonna come to where they know you're gonna be at. And if you always, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like this is somebody you didn't think things through. And even if it was intended for you to be, you know what I'm saying, getting this, whatever is going on, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's time to go. Okay? You got to think about it. If you always working at a certain beauty salon, and all your clients come to that beauty salon to get their hair done, and you up and disappear out of nowhere, where they gonna go? Straight to that beauty salon. And when they don't see you, they gonna have to go ahead and settle for whoever they can find. God says somebody wants your territory. Your territory is valuable. Get up out of there before somebody sets you up, before somebody run up on you, before you find yourself in a whirlwind of trouble. And like I said, you know what I'm saying, my mama, her friend that did hair, she had her beauty shop attached to her house. It gotta be fancy. You know what I'm saying? And it was fancy, low key. But it don't have to be just. I just feel like God is saying, when it come down to it, your customers, your clientele, whoever it is that you got going on, they come to you because of you. It don't have nothing to do with the background. It don't have nothing to do with how fancy the chair is. They could care less about, how the AC is working, what kind of TV you got on the wall, what kind of decor is going on. They are coming specifically for you. Regardless of whatever it is you got going on, you magic hands, okay, for whoever this is for. But God said you are meant to be a boss. You are meant to be the king of your own castle. Go ahead and get your castle king, or go ahead and get your castle queen, and stop playing. Anyways, that's the message. Whew. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Once again, this is something that is going on in the spiritual. I don't know why I'm being led to keep going with this message, but this is going on in the spiritual. This is a thought. This is a plan. This is something that is going to be, this is a future type thing. God said now is the time, okay? This is something that somebody is planning against someone. And I feel like there is an urge, like this is urgent. Okay, like I said, I had this dream last night. Usually, not to say usually, but sometimes I'll give the dream, like relay the message the next day, and sometimes it's weeks, months, years later. But I just feel like with this situation right here, God said it's an urgent step on it. This is somebody, they didn't had a light bulb moment, and they feel like that'll do it. Okay, God said this person is so, like, they didn't got so jealous of you that they ready to take your life. Get up out of there. Woo, that's the message, okay? This is somebody that you earn enough that you can have your own shop. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing. Why play around? For what? You know what I'm saying? For what? Why play? You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. I feel like if you can do your own thing, why would you sit up and pretend and act and put on a show like you can't? Go ahead and do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, that's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and put your crown on. You know what I'm saying? Put your crown on and do your thing. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys to bits and pieces, and I'll see you later. Deuces.